beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com. I'm back today with another finished jewelry update. For those who are new to my channel, I like to come on here and do some of these finished jewelry updates to share with you some ideas and inspiration and finished projects that I've made from a lot of the beads and findings that I receive in the various bead and jewelry making subscription boxes that I unbox on my channel. I like to actually show you the end use of the products. I know that always helps me, and I hope it helps you guys too. So before we get started, I just want to let you know, as usual, that all these products are for sale. They are available at orchidandopal.com. If there's anything you don't see on my site, it may just be because a few things haven't been listed yet, but feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media channels, and don't be shy to ask me if something is perhaps still available that you don't see or that you can't find. So as you can see, the first thing that I have here, or first items I have here to show you, are these gemstone chip bracelets. So some of you guys have already seen these. If you have, feel free to skip ahead, but these are the gemstone chip bracelets that I made. I'm wearing one right here with the rose quartz and little check glass flowers that I've shown before, but I made a couple more for the tutorial that I posted recently on how to make these, and they're basically the gemstone chip beads that I received from bbcraft.com put in a chevron stitch formation with a backing of ladder stitch seed beads. So I show you all about how to make that in my past tutorial video, so if you haven't seen it and you're interested, feel free to check that out. I did variations where, as you can see, this one I used these little pink check glass bellflower beads. I also used the mushroom beads that came in the December dollar bead box, so that's another type of bead you can use. And in this one with the labradorite, I used these little check glass stars, which may be a little bit difficult to see, but the whole point of what I was going for in this bracelet was that there were going to be beads kind of going up the center of the bracelet that weren't so obvious. You kind of had to look close to see that they were different, maybe a different fun shape. And I always like to try to find new and creative ways to use shapes like this besides just simple stringing, because it can be a challenge to figure out how to use them. So I hope that kind of helped you guys too, not only on what you can do with the gemstone chips, but also some different ideas on how to use these shapes of beads. Just love that labradorite. It just shines those different colors in the light. And then of course this is tiger's eye. And so I basically was using what I had left in my kit, and then I had gotten these labradorite beads from beadboxbargains.com over the Black Friday weekend. So those are the gemstone chip bracelets that I had made, if you hadn't already seen those. And then along those lines, I had actually sold the bracelet that you're seeing in my hand. This is a recreation of the bracelet that I made, and I shared with you also on the 10 different ways you can use gemstone chip beads video. So I had shared this bracelet with you guys there, and I had actually sold it. You can see it's got the brick stitch triangles here. I am planning to do this as my next tutorial. I'm hoping to have it up by the end of this week, so stay tuned for that. There's been a lot of interest on how to make this bracelet right here, so I definitely will be sharing that with you. I wanted to recreate it, and this one is, like I said, available in my shop now again, even though it had sold before. I am going to try to make it in some different colors, and I think for the tutorial I'm going to make it with not 10 rows, but maybe 5 or 6 rows, just to show that you can make this in different ways, and also it would be a little quicker for the tutorial to do it that way. But you can add as many strands as you want, and you can do a lot with this type of bracelet. If you don't even want to use gemstone beads, there's all different types of things you can do with the same principle. So those are the bracelets that I made since my last finished jewelry update video. Let's get into some of the necklaces. So here's a really cool necklace that kind of reminds me of like Under the Sea, with like this kind of green and blue. There's a little bit of pink on these beads as well. These were beads that I've had in my stash for a while from dollarbeadbox.com. So they not only have the subscription, but they also have a website where if you're a member, you can go and you can buy various strands of beads for just $1, which is awesome. So they had caught my eye before. I think I purchased them in the summer, but I've been kind of just sitting with them. They've been on my shelf and I've been looking at them, which is nice. A little plug for my acrylic shelving bead storage video. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to try to link it right there in the corner. But I'm a very visual person. I don't like to forget the beads that I have because it could be very easy for me to pack these away and then just forget that I even have them. But since they're sitting there on my wall in front of my face in nice clear containers, I don't forget about them and I can figure out ways to use them down the road even though it may not have come to me immediately. So anyway, I thought they looked really cool with these striped seed beads we got these in the Check Beads exclusive box a couple months ago. And also I used these little blue teardrops. I had said before in a past unboxing that I wanted to use more of these little teardrop shapes. So I've used them with that. I like how they mimic the teardrop shape of these table cut check glass beads, so I thought they went really well. Plus, they added a great pop of color that went with the blue in these glass beads. Also added a nice little dangle element at the bottom of the necklace as well. Nice little drop. So just did a basic type wire wrapping technique around these segments, and then just added a little bit of chain on the back, as you can see here. And then a little extender chain and another little embellishment on the back. So I just thought that was really cute, kind of beachy, and a little bit kind of a boho vibe as well. One of the things I really want to do now that we're in 2019, we're in a new year, I really want to try to use some of the beads that have been sitting in my stash for a while and challenge myself to not let things sit around for too long before going and buying a lot of new beads, because I did buy a lot of new beads during Black Friday, which I did with that plan in mind to kind of have that be my big bead haul for 2018, and then for at least a little while in the start of 2019 to really try to use what I have. So here's another really nice necklace I have to share with you guys. There's actually earrings that I made that go with the set as well. But as you can see, it's some garnet round beads with some Dalmatian jasper rondelles. And I hadn't thought to put this combination together at first, but as I was just kind of laying things out on my bead mat, I was trying to find things that I liked that would go with the garnet. I knew I wanted to use antique brass, so that was pretty easy, but I wanted something to accent the garnet bead so the piece wasn't so completely dark. So I just happened to pull out the Dalmatian jasper, and I'm kind of in love with how the Dalmatian jasper goes with the dark red of the garnet and the antique brass, because there are tones of brown in this as well. And that cream shade just gives it a little bit more of a lightness. And then of course the spots on the Dalmatian jasper, the black spots, really just add a lot more interest to it. So I liked how this came together. This really cool pendant finding came in a bargain bead box subscription box. I think that was the one from November. I decided to add some little embellishments. I had these smaller garnet beads that I used and just added them to some ball head pins to make it look like they were little berries or something like that coming out of this leaf pendant that I really like. Then I just added some of these cool findings that I had in my stash. These came from eBay. I believe I'd gotten them over the summer. I will have some more eBay items to share with you coming up. I placed several orders for more findings and some beads a few weeks ago, and as you know, if you order from eBay, a lot of things will ship from China, and so they take 4 to 6 weeks sometimes to arrive. So those will be coming, and I'll share with you some more about what I get on eBay and about how I find things there. Alright, so then I just added a little bit more chain on the back, and then I really liked this toggle clasp. I thought it was so pretty and went well with the theme of this necklace, just this really pretty flower. And again, has those earrings that go with it that match these antique brass findings that I think are so pretty. So the next necklace I made is made with Indian agate, and it's also on antique brass. I love all the various colors of the Indian agate, and again, these gemstone beads came from a recent bargain bead box subscription. So if you want to check out that unboxing and haven't already, I do have playlists for each of the different bead subscription boxes. Feel free to check those out. It's also a great way to find out what box is right for you, because I do get asked a lot, which box should I subscribe to? And I really can't answer that for you because they're all just so different. They have different price points and they're good for different types of beaders and projects. So if you are trying to figure out which one is right for you, check out the playlist that I have and just see which boxes speak to you, which boxes fit within your budget, which ones consistently month over month you just are really happy to watch and see. So here's a close-up on all those gorgeous colors that Indian agate comes in. Just so beautiful and how they all work together really well. These antique brass findings that I used right here actually came from the very first Bead Crate subscription box that I received back in the summer. And I had run out of these connectors and I was trying to find them. I had a hard time finding them, but I wanted to recreate a necklace that I had made before that sold, and so I actually reached out to Bead Crate. I asked them if there was any way that I could purchase more of the connectors, and they were able to set up a special Etsy listing. They had like 20 left, and so I bought them all because I used these quite a bit. They're just the right size, and I really like the shape, and I like what they add to my jewelry. So they set up a special Etsy listing and I bought them. It was wonderful. So sometimes I get asked if Bead Crate has a website where you can like shop online like some of the other subscription boxes do. They don't necessarily have that, but if there is anything that you receive that you want to purchase more of, it doesn't hurt to ask to just reach out to them and ask them if they have any more of a certain item, and they may be able to set up an Etsy listing for you to purchase more, which is really nice. And then of course I just added this leaf accent on the bottom in antique brass. I think it just adds another detail to the necklace, makes it a lot more interesting. Here's the chain that I added onto the back, and then another little embellishment back here using another one of those Indian agate beads. So the last necklace that's all together that I have to share with you guys is using that amazing, stunning pine cone pendant that we received from the bargain bead box subscription box for December. They sent so many pine cone findings. They sent this tree agate. I had these little leaf accent spacer beads in my stash. I had these in my stash, which ended up working great. I was able to do a 2-strand necklace and hook these on the different openings here, and then just hook one jump ring to this side for the back of the chain and all of that. Also use some of these little quartz drops right here on this strand that kind of coordinated with these white, I believe these were some shell beads. But most of these beads came from either the bargain bead box subscription box or their sister site, beadboxbargains.com. I love shopping on their site because their prices are great and their selection constantly rotates, so it's a lot of fun to just see what they have. So of course the tree agate here, it's just gorgeous. So many shades of green and white, and just looks like snow-capped evergreens or something like that. Reminds me of a pine forest. And they just really hit the nail on the head when they sent all these beautiful pine cone findings with that box. I couldn't wait to use it. Really happy with how that turned out. And then I also made these cute little chandelier earrings with the pine cone charms that they sent in that box as well. So I used some of the smaller size tree agate beads, and then these basic chandelier findings that I had actually gotten them on a multi-pack or in a multi-pack on Amazon, and they had this little opening here and a place to kind of dangle something inside like a frame, and I thought that the pine cone charms would look so cute in there for this set and would really coordinate well with the pine cone pendant. So really happy with how that turned out, and I made it a little bit of a longer length. All those details are on my website, orchidandopal.com. Once again, if you are interested in purchasing anything you see here, and I can always adjust lengths. I can adjust lengths of chain, so if you see something you want longer or shorter, I can typically adjust that free of charge with no problem. And also I just want to mention that I do offer free shipping to the US always on my site, and everything is also 15% off right now, and I always appreciate your support, even if you want to just look on there for past ideas and inspiration on some of the things I've made and shared here on my channel. So these next items I wasn't really going to show you guys yet because technically they aren't finished. However, the main part of them is finished, and there's so many of them. I'm just going to lay them all out for you guys. So I've shared with you that classy crescent collar necklace design before, and I did a tutorial on the basic design, but I've been going crazy this week making it with the check glass leaves. So I've done it in, I think, at least 8 different colors. We'd gotten these gorgeous check glass leaves, like a mixed pack strand in the recent bead crate from December. And they had greens and purples and pinks. Well, I separated all the colors and then I used them in different necklaces. And I had also gotten some of these same leaf-shaped beads from eurekacrystalbeads.com over the Black Friday weekend when I did a lot of bead shopping. And I shared those with you there as well. So I used the leaf beads that I'd gotten from their site too. So I just kind of pulled out all my different leaf beads. I pulled out all my crescent beads. Those are the 2-hole crescent beads that you see here, which I'm going to need to purchase more of for sure because I'm crazy about working with these now. So here's these gorgeous pink AB flowers, and I coordinated those with different fire polish beads in between, and I just love how they look. So basically I used the classy crescent collar design from my tutorial, but instead of doing the 4mm fire polish on every other section, I stuck a leaf in. So it just adds another layer of interest. This is just another variation on how you can take that necklace and run with the design. So what I do is I make these little collar shapes and then I just add chain. So all I have to do on these is just pick out my chain and add the amount of chain that I want and a little extender, and I always add a little embellishment on the extender. So that's the general idea, but since these beaded portions were all done, I figured I would go ahead and just share these with you because I'm really, really happy with how they came out. So here's another one right here, and these are using this kind of a hematite color crescent bead, and then again just another shade of the purple that were sent from Bead Crate, and different colors of fire polish beads that coordinated. Here's more of a pinky purple, more of these leaves. I had these crescents right here that really, really went well with those tones. I found these leaves in my stash, which were really interesting. They came from a Check Beads exclusive box. By the way, if you guys are wondering how I'm able to tell you where all these beads are coming from, it's because, well, number one, when I film these videos, I have to go back and do editing, so I end up hearing myself talking and repeating and watching my unboxings multiple times, so it kind of sticks in my brain that way. But also, I do label all of my containers with where the beads came from, and that way, if I need to order more, or if I want to remember to tell you guys where something came from, that helps me remember. So anyway, these were really interesting. They're black with, like, I don't know if they're probably a Picasso finish, but I thought they kind of looked cool. They had different tones in them that kind of coordinated, of course, with the black and the reddish brown here that kind of looks like the veins of the leaf, and then the tan. So I thought that was a pretty interesting combination. I had gotten these reddish colored leaves from Eureka Crystal Beads and paired them with these antique bronze crescent beads and some red fire polish. Thought those looked really, really nice. I've got 2 more to show you with the leaves. Here's another one. I had this transparent green color, so this is a really natural kind of looking one using these luster crescents that look like rattan or look like a basket weave almost, with some coordinating fire polish beads as well. And then these beautiful green AB leaf beads, they had kind of a gold shine to them too, so I thought they paired really well with the gold crescents. And again, I had to use what I had. I was really kind of starting to get limited on the crescents I had left to work with, and so I had to pick and choose which ones to work with because I only had a limited number of colors and amount ounce left, but of course I love the gold with this beautiful green with the AB finish on one side, and then the fire polish that coordinated with that. Oh, and I do have this right here. I had made one of these classy crescent collar necklaces as well in the black and blue using the flat teardrops. So same principle here with the flat teardrops instead of the leaves. But this one had sold, so I just wanted to let you know that I did recreate this one, and it will be listed on my website as well. So there you have it, guys. You can tell I have been a busy girl. I've been having lots of fun with all the beads that have been rolling in the various subscription boxes. As always, I hope this is helpful to you, to give you some inspiration and just maybe get your mind thinking about how you might be able to use some of these beads in different ways. It's always fun for me to share them with you guys. Please feel free to leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite piece or pieces are here. Or maybe let me know what you've been up to, what you've made with some of the similar beads that I've shared. I have a lot more in store for you. I have more tutorials coming. By the way, I do want to just mention, because I get asked a lot, but one of the most popular videos on my channel has actually been for these flat peyote even count rings, and I wear them a lot on my videos. I have different styles and things that I've come up with, different patterns, and I get asked all the time for me to make more of these tutorials. And I did decide for 2019 I am planning to make one new peyote ring pattern tutorial each month on my channel. So don't despair if you've seen the peyote rings that I wear, you know, especially the ones with the little flowers or the little purple heart. I will be doing a new tutorial every month. I'll show you how I map out the designs and also show you how I make one. So I just didn't want to forget to share that with you. But anyway, as usual, thank you all so much for being with me. You guys really blow me away with all your support. You humble me, you inspire me, and I'm so happy to have you. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that I have going on right now for reaching 4,000 subscribers. You can win a really nice goodie bag, and it's a very simple entry. So check out that video if you haven't done that already. It is open through Friday, January 4th, and it's open worldwide. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful for you. And as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to see more of my videos, and check out the video description section to follow along on all of my social media handles, and check out my new website and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!